Have you ever felt like you were making progress even though nothing in your life was actually changing? You think about your goals every day. You talk about them. You write them down. You imagine the future you want so clearly it feels real. But then another week goes by and you realize you're still in the same place, still waiting, still preparing, still hoping. It's easy to mistake thinking for doing, but no matter how vivid the vision, nothing changes until you move. There's a trap in planning. It gives you a false sense of achievement. You feel like you've done something, but the world around you stays the same. That's because thoughts, no matter how powerful, don't move mountains. Only actions do. Your mind can create the blueprint, but it's your steps that build the life. You can't think your way into transformation. You must act your way into it. The difference between where you are and where you want to be is not a lack of knowledge. It's a lack of movement. That's the harsh truth most people avoid, because motion is uncomfortable. It's risky. It means stepping into the unknown. Your brain is wired for safety. It loves the familiar. Even if you're unhappy, at least it's predictable. So your mind tells you to wait, to plan more, to get everything perfect first. But perfection is just a delay in disguise. If you wait for everything to be right, you'll be waiting forever. The truth is, no perfect moment is coming. Life isn't on pause until you feel ready. It's happening now, with or without your permission. And every second you spend overthinking is a second you lose forever. But here's the power you've been missing. The moment you act, even in a small way, you begin to shift everything. That one step creates momentum. It sends a message to your brain, we're doing this. Suddenly, hesitation weakens. Fear quiets down. Possibility opens up. The fog begins to lift because action creates clarity. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to move. Clarity isn't something you find before starting. It's something you earn along the way. Right now, you're standing at the edge of who you are and who you could be. The only thing separating the two is action. Not motivation, not talent, not luck. Action. The smallest, simplest step forward breaks the chain of waiting. It flips the switch. It proves to yourself that change isn't just possible. It's already beginning. That's the moment everything shifts. That's the moment you start living instead of just imagining. So stay with this, because in the minutes ahead, you're not just going to hear words. You're going to feel something wake up inside you, a force that's been quiet for too long, a fire that's been waiting for your permission to burn. This isn't just a video, it's a line in the sand. And by the end, you won't just want to act, you'll need to. That fire inside you, that restless pull you've been feeling, isn't random. It's your soul demanding motion. It's your deeper self refusing to settle for a life half-lived. You weren't born to sit still and shrink into comfort. You were made to move, to rise, to build something that echoes. And no matter how strong your desire is, it means nothing until it turns into action. Dreams are only as powerful as the steps you take toward them. You can feel inspired all day long, but if you don't move, that energy becomes frustration. It turns inward. It becomes doubt, anxiety, even regret. Desire is the spark, but it's not the flame. To turn it into fire, you must feed it with action. Every single time you do something, no matter how small, you tell yourself you're serious. That this isn't a fantasy, it's a decision. That shift is where real power lives. Because the truth is, motivation doesn't lead to action. Action leads to motivation. You don't wait to feel ready. You act your way into readiness. Every step you take rewires your mind. It tells your nervous system that you are no longer stuck. You are no longer passive. You are the one who moves. Think about this. The gap between wanting something and doing something is where most people stay stuck their entire lives. They dream, they complain, they wait. But the people who change their lives, the ones who rise, they don't wait to feel ready. They use what they have. They start scared. They act with shaky hands because they know motion beats hesitation. That the first move matters more than perfect timing. Right now inside you, there's an idea, a longing, a vision. It won't go away, and it shouldn't. That's your calling, that's your potential demanding expression. But it will stay a shadow until you act on it. Nothing changes until you move. You can journal about it, talk about it, pray for it. But only action brings it to life. The step may seem small, but the decision behind it, that's massive. That's the birth of a new you. So ask yourself this: what's one thing, just one, you can do today that moves you closer? Not tomorrow, not next week, right now. Because your future isn't shaped by what you hope for, it's shaped by what you do about it. That truth is what separates wishing from winning, wanting from becoming, and it starts now. Keep going. Stay with this energy, because you're not just watching a message, you're participating in your own breakthrough. The life you want is already waiting, but it's not going to walk to you. You have to meet it, with your feet, with your hands, with your heart. Action is your invitation to power. And every time you choose it, you become a little more unstoppable, a little more real, a little more alive. So don't pause now. The momentum is yours. Use it. Every second you hesitate, something inside you fades. Not all at once, but slowly, quietly. A little bit of belief slips away, a little bit of courage, a little bit of the fire you felt just moments ago. That's the cost of waiting. It's invisible. It doesn't scream. It doesn't warn you. It just chips away at your potential until one day you forget what it ever felt like to believe in yourself. You convince yourself that you were never meant for more. But deep down, you know that's a lie. You've just been stuck in a cycle that steals your time and gives you nothing in return. Waiting feels safe. It feels smart. You tell yourself you're being patient, being cautious, being responsible, but what you're really doing is postponing your own life. You're handing over your power to fear. You're letting uncertainty decide your future. And the longer you wait, the more normal it feels to stand still. That's how regret builds, not in sudden moments of failure, but in quiet days of inaction. The moments you could have said yes but didn't. The chances you could have taken but let pass. That's the real danger. Not failure, not rejection, but nothingness. Wasted time. There is no perfect moment coming to rescue you. No external sign will arrive to give you permission. The truth is, the door won't open until you knock. Life doesn't respond to intention. It responds to movement. And when you move even slightly, you shift everything. That movement sends a signal to the world and to your own mind. You are no longer available for stagnation. You are choosing growth. You are choosing to own your life. When you take action, you start a chain reaction. Energy builds. Confidence grows. Possibility expands. Not because the world changes instantly, but because you do. You become someone who doesn't wait, someone who doesn't fold, someone who shows up even when it's uncomfortable. That identity, that inner shift, is worth everything. Because once you see yourself as someone who acts, nothing can stop you. You're not waiting for conditions. You're creating them. You're not hoping for opportunity. You're becoming the reason it exists. Right now, you have a choice. You can keep waiting, keep preparing, keep imagining, or you can draw a line and say, this is the moment I begin. Not tomorrow, not when it's easier, now. Because the only real power you have is in the now. That's where life happens. That's where change is made. And that's where your future is born. Not in a someday that never comes, but in the decision you make right here, in this breath, in this heartbeat. So take that power back. Feel it, claim it, use it, because every minute you act is a minute you own. And once you own your time, you start to own your destiny. You don't need to feel confident to begin. You don't need to feel ready, fearless, or certain. That's the lie you've been told, the lie that keeps too many people frozen. Confidence doesn't show up first. It's not something you wait for. It's something you build through action. You earn it. You create it by doing the very things you doubt you can do. And the more you do them, the more you realize you were capable all along. Right now, there's a voice in your head that questions everything. It asks, what if I fail? What if I'm not good enough? What if I can't handle it? But there's another voice, quieter, deeper, the one that says, but what if I succeed? That voice isn't loud because it hasn't been fed. It's waiting. Waiting for you to act so it can rise. Because once you take that first step, your mind begins to shift. That's not imagination, that's psychology. Your brain starts to believe what you show it, not what you think, what you do. Every action you take is proof. Proof that you're not stuck. Proof that you're not powerless. Every time you show up, your brain records it. It says, I did this, I can do more. That's how confidence is born. Not through comfort, but through repetition. Through showing up when it's hard. Through doing what scares you until it doesn't. Until one day, without realizing it, you look back and see just how far you've come. Not because fear disappeared, but because you moved anyway. Confidence is not a personality trait. It's a habit. A practiced decision to trust yourself even when the outcome is uncertain. And that trust grows every time you take action, especially when it's messy, especially when you're unsure. Because real confidence isn't about perfection, it's about persistence. It's about refusing to shrink, refusing to let fear have the final word. So if you're waiting to feel brave, stop. Bravery is not a feeling, it's a choice. It's the quiet decision to act while fear is still present. It's what transforms doubt into power. Every time you move forward, you prove to yourself that you are stronger than hesitation, that you don't need guarantees. You need grit. You don't need certainty. You need movement. Action is what builds the armor, not to protect you from failure, but to prepare you for greatness. This is your invitation to stop waiting and start becoming, to stop questioning your worth and start showing yourself what's possible. Because it's not about feeling fearless, it's about acting through the fear. And every time you do, you rise, you grow, you evolve into the person you were always meant to be. Not because someone told you it was possible, but because you showed yourself it is. Let that be your new truth. Confidence isn't something you wait for. It's something you create, one bold step at a time. The world doesn't respond to who you think you are. It responds to what you do. You can carry potential so powerful it could change everything, but if it stays locked inside, silent, hidden, unused, it means nothing. Action is the language of power. It's the only voice the universe truly hears. Not intention, not hope, movement. It's not the person with the most talent who wins. It's the one who dares to act, over and over, without permission, without apology. You don't rise because you have all the answers. You rise because you refuse to sit still. You rise because something in you says, this is not where my story ends. You may not feel strong right now, but strength is forged in motion, in the heat of doing. You gain clarity by engaging. You gain strength by enduring. And every time you choose action over comfort, you build a new identity, one that's based on courage, not caution. People wait for certainty, but it never comes. They wait for signs, for validation, for some outside force to say, now is the time. But the truth is, your life is asking you to be the signal. Every day you don't act is a day you trade your power for excuses. But when you do act, everything shifts. Energy moves, doubt fades, a sense of control returns, and suddenly the world that felt so far away becomes something you can touch. You can think your way into doubt. You can hesitate your way into fear, but you can't think your way into change. Change is physical. It requires effort. It demands discomfort. That's why most people stay where they are, not because they're incapable, but because they're unwilling to move through the friction that transformation requires. But that resistance, it's not the enemy, it's the gateway. The stronger the resistance, the more important the step. The closer you are to your breakthrough. You don't overcome fear by wishing it away. You overcome it by walking straight into it, proving to yourself step by step that it can't hold you. That's how action works. It rewrites your beliefs. It challenges the false stories in your mind that say you're not enough, that you're not ready, that you'll never make it. And with every new step, those lies lose their grip. You begin to see yourself differently, not as someone who's trying, but as someone who does. Not as someone who waits, but as someone who moves. You already have what it takes. The only thing missing is the decision to act on it. Not when it's convenient, not when everything aligns, but now. Because the longer you delay, the heavier the weight becomes. The more you wait, the more power you give away. So take it back, one step, one decision, one moment that says, I'm done waiting. That's when everything changes. That's when you become unstoppable. You don't need to know how it all unfolds. You just need to take the next step. That's how every transformation begins, not with certainty, but with movement. The most powerful changes in life come from decisions that don't yet make perfect sense. They come from that quiet, bold moment when you say, "I'll figure it out on the way." That's where courage lives. Not in control, but in commitment. And the moment you commit, fully, without excuses, life starts to respond. Doors open, strength appears, not because you waited, but because you moved. When you act, you teach your mind a new story. One where you're not the victim of circumstances, but the architect of your future. You shift from reacting to leading, from doubting to deciding. That shift isn't just mental, it's emotional, physical, and spiritual. You stop being at the mercy of fear and start becoming fueled by purpose. And when purpose takes hold, it pulls you forward. It keeps you moving when things get hard. It reminds you why you started. That's the fuel you can't buy. That's the fire you create with every action. Waiting feels safe, but it's a trap. It convinces you that there will be a perfect time, a better moment, a sign from somewhere. But that illusion steals your life in pieces. It makes you a prisoner of your own potential. The truth is, you are not stuck because you lack ability. You are stuck because you haven't yet decided that movement matters more than comfort. You haven't yet made action non-negotiable. But once you do, everything changes. You don't need to know all the steps, just the first one, then the next, then the one after that. That's how momentum is built. One choice at a time. One action at a time. And when you stay consistent, something incredible happens. You stop being afraid of failure because you realize failure isn't the end. It's part of the process. It teaches you, strengthens you, refines you. And suddenly you're no longer held back by what might go wrong. You're propelled by what could go right. The most powerful thing you can do today is act in alignment with who you want to become. Not who you've been, not who the world expects you to be, but the version of you that's buried under hesitation. Bring that version forward. Give it breath. Give it motion. Let your actions reflect the future you are building, not the fear you are escaping. And when you live from that place, you gain something unshakable, integrity with yourself. That's what creates confidence. That's what builds self-trust. That's what unlocks true power. So don't shrink back. Don't overthink. Move. Even if it's small. Even if it's messy. Just move. Because every time you do, you reclaim your life. Not in theory, but in truth. And one day you'll look back and realize that this moment, this choice to act, was the moment everything began. Internal server error. Every time you move forward, you interrupt the pattern of fear. You disrupt the cycle of waiting. You silence the voice that says you're not ready. Action is how you reclaim your mind from the grip of doubt. It's how you prove to yourself that your life belongs to you. Not to your fears, not to your past, not to anyone's opinion of what you should be. Just you, raw, real, and fully capable. But you only tap into that power by doing, not dreaming. By stepping forward before you feel fully prepared. The truth is, action rewires your identity. It sends a message deep into your subconscious. I am the kind of person who moves. Not because you always feel brave, but because you refuse to settle. That repetition builds strength where there used to be hesitation. With each decision to take control, your self-image changes. You no longer see yourself as stuck. You see yourself as evolving. And when you start to see yourself that way, your whole life begins to shift, because we live in alignment with who we believe we are. This is why motion matters more than motivation. You don't wait to feel inspired. You create inspiration by moving, by showing up, by doing the uncomfortable thing when every excuse tells you to pause. And once you make that a pattern, momentum takes over. It doesn't mean you won't face fear. It means fear loses its ability to stop you. You feel it, but you move anyway. That's strength. That's power. That's freedom. You don't need to overhaul your entire life in one day. You just need to stop feeding the story that you can't begin. Every excuse, every delay, every reason you tell yourself to wait. It only keeps you tied to a version of you that no longer fits. You've outgrown your excuses. You've outgrown your fear. What you need now is not more information, not more preparation. What you need is to decide. Decide that movement matters more than perfection, that progress matters more than pride. Every step you take creates evidence, evidence that builds belief, belief that fuels more action, and action that changes everything. It's a cycle, but it starts with one choice, a choice to rise, to act, to stop negotiating with fear. Because once you begin, you see the truth. You were never broken, never behind, never lacking. You were simply paused, and now you're pressing play, fully, powerfully, without waiting for approval. So don't waste another moment standing at the edge of your own potential. Step into it, not with guarantees, but with grit, not with certainty, but with courage. This is the path, not the perfect one, but the real one, the one that leads to growth, change, strength, and purpose. And it all starts with one unshakable decision. I will not let another day pass without claiming my power. I will act. I will rise. I will become. You are not here to live a quiet, limited version of yourself. You are not meant to shrink into the background of your own life, waiting for the perfect moment to be bold. That moment is now, not because everything is perfect, but because waiting has only taught you how to hesitate. You already know what it feels like to doubt, to delay, to sit in silence while life passes by. What you haven't fully experienced yet is the power of what happens when you say yes to your own strength. When you stop asking for permission and start acting like the person you were born to become. Every single moment you hesitate, you train your mind to avoid risk. But every time you act, even in discomfort, you teach it to lean into possibility. That rewiring is everything. It's how you build a new internal compass, one that doesn't steer you away from challenge but guides you toward growth. The pain of stepping forward is nothing compared to the regret of holding back. You know that. You feel it. It whispers to you when another day ends and your potential remains untouched. That quiet ache, that's your future calling you forward. Nothing changes until you do. Nothing transforms until you move. Not because life is waiting to hand you something, but because you have to meet it halfway. You have to prove, through action, that you're serious, that you won't settle, that you're done repeating old patterns that keep you small. This is not about massive leaps. It's about consistent motion, because the more you act, the less power fear holds. Fear only thrives in stillness. Action starves it, starves doubt, starves indecision, and feeds your self-respect. Respect is earned by showing up for yourself when it's hard, by choosing discipline over distraction, by choosing growth over comfort. Every time you do, you become someone you trust. And when you trust yourself, you stop needing approval. You stop waiting for guarantees. You stop negotiating with fear. That's what creates freedom. Not external success, but internal certainty. A knowing that no matter what happens, you will show up, you will act, you will keep going. This is how momentum is built, not by hype, but by habit, not by inspiration alone, but by commitment. A commitment to live, to move, to do. You are not waiting to be rescued. You are not hoping someone sees your worth. You are proving it to yourself, through your choices, through your energy, through your action. Every step forward is a declaration: I refuse to live in the shadows of who I could be. Now is the time to honor your potential. Not with more thinking, not with more planning, but with decisive, relentless movement. The kind that says, I know who I am becoming, and I will not stop until I meet that version face to face. Keep moving, keep rising. Let your actions speak the truth your soul already knows. You were built to break limits. You've spent enough time wondering if you're capable, wondering if you have what it takes. The truth is, your doubts are nothing more than whispers from a past version of yourself, one that's holding on to what feels safe, what's familiar. But safety is not where your growth lives. It's not where your power lies. Your power lies in the discomfort of action. It lies in pushing past the familiar, in breaking free from the cage of I can't, and stepping into the world of I will. Every time you take action, you leave behind a version of you that doubted, and you step closer to the person you're meant to become. No one ever reaches their full potential by waiting for permission. No one ever becomes the person they dream of being by holding back. Every goal, every dream, every vision of the life you want is waiting on you to act. It's not waiting on a perfect plan or a flawless moment. It's waiting on you to make the choice to move. That's it. Action is the bridge that connects who you are right now to who you're capable of becoming. Without it, the gap remains, and you continue to wonder what might be. But when you move, even when it's uncertain, even when you don't have all the answers, you take the first step toward closing that gap. You take ownership of your future. There's no magic formula to success. It's not about having everything figured out from the start. It's about showing up every single day, no matter how you feel. It's about committing to your dreams with the same intensity you would commit to your survival. Because, in a sense, that's what this is. You're not simply trying to succeed. You're trying to become. And the only way to become is to act, to show up, to make progress every single day, no matter how small the steps feel. Each time you take action, you reinforce the belief that you are not powerless. You reinforce the truth that you are in control of your future. And with every action, your vision for what's possible grows clearer. You start to see yourself as the person who gets things done, the person who moves forward in spite of fear, the person who takes control of their own destiny. You stop asking, "Can I do this?" and start saying, "This is mine to create." The path will never be perfectly straight. There will be moments of doubt, moments when fear tries to pull you back. But that's part of the journey. Every successful person you admire has faced that same battle, the battle between the comfort of inaction and the power of movement. They won because they chose to act, even when it was hard, and so can you. Action is not about waiting for everything to line up perfectly. It's about showing up, even when you're not sure. Because as you act, you'll begin to see that the path has a way of unfolding with you. The universe moves in response to your willingness to move first. Now it's time to stop overthinking. Stop second-guessing yourself. Step into your power and take that next step forward. Your future is waiting for you to claim it. And the only thing standing between you and that future is action. Move now. Don't wait. Take control. The life you're meant to live is just one decision away. You are not defined by the setbacks you've faced. You are not the sum of your past failures or the mistakes you've made. Those moments do not determine who you are. They are simply steps along the way. The real power lies in how you respond, in what you do next. The truth is, every setback has the potential to become your springboard if you choose to take action. Every failure can be turned into a lesson, every obstacle an opportunity to rise higher. But only if you move, only if you make the decision to take the next step, even when it feels uncertain, even when you're not sure what's on the other side. Inaction keeps you stuck, imprisoned by your past. Action, however, sets you free. It liberates you from the limitations you've created in your mind. It silences the voice of doubt, the one that tells you that you're not good enough, not capable enough, not worthy enough. When you choose to act, you choose to tell that voice it's wrong. You choose to show the world, and more importantly yourself, that you are powerful beyond measure. And each time you make that choice, the voice gets quieter, the doubt gets weaker, and your belief in yourself grows stronger. But this isn't something that happens overnight. It's the result of small, consistent actions. Every single day you are faced with a choice, to stay where you are or to move forward, to stay in the comfort of what's known or to step into the discomfort of growth. The truth is, the comfort zone is a trap. It's not a safe place. It's a place where dreams go to die. Real growth only happens when you push past what's comfortable, and the only way to do that is by taking action, by showing up for yourself every day and doing the work, even when you don't feel like it. There is no magic moment, no perfect time when everything aligns. Life doesn't work that way. If you wait for the right time, you'll wait forever. The truth is, the right time is now. It's always now. It's the moment you choose to stop making excuses and start making progress. The world is full of people who talk about what they're going to do, but the ones who actually succeed are the ones who take action, even when it's hard, even when it feels impossible. They don't wait for the stars to align. They create their own alignment through relentless action. What you do today matters. What you choose to do right now matters. The decisions you make in this moment will shape your future. But those decisions must be backed by action, and not just any action, action that is deliberate, purposeful, and unwavering. You cannot afford to hesitate. You cannot afford to sit back and wait for things to magically change. Change happens when you decide that you're no longer willing to stay stuck, when you decide to move toward the life you want, one step at a time. Don't let fear control you. Don't let doubt hold you back. Every time you act, you break free from the chains of hesitation. You reclaim your power. And the more you act, the more you become. You are not defined by your circumstances. You are defined by your ability to take action in spite of them. You are the creator of your own story. And it starts right now with the decision to move forward. Keep moving, keep believing. You are capable, you are powerful. You are becoming who you were always meant to be. The truth is, every time you hesitate, you rob yourself of the opportunity to prove what you're capable of. The power lies in the moment of decision, the split second when you feel fear rise, when doubt creeps in, but you decide to act anyway. That's when everything changes, not when the conditions are perfect, but when you choose to rise despite the uncertainty. This is when you tap into a deeper part of yourself, the part that knows you can do more, be more, achieve more. And once you've taken that first step, you realize that you were always capable. The fear didn't have the power to stop you, and neither does the doubt. Every successful person has faced the same internal struggle, the moment when fear tells them to turn back, when doubt tries to pull them under. The difference is, they moved anyway. They did not wait until they felt ready. They did not wait until everything was clear. They moved with the belief that action is the key to breaking free from the chains that bind them. And that is the power you hold within you. You are not meant to live a life of wishing, of wondering what might be. You are meant to live a life of doing, of becoming. And it starts with making a decision to no longer be a bystander in your own life. A decision to stop waiting for permission, for the right moment. The right moment is now. It has always been now. It's in the power of each moment you choose to act, to push forward, to face what scares you and say, I will not be stopped. Because every time you choose action, you are making a statement to yourself, I am the one in control. Action doesn't require perfection. It doesn't require certainty. It just requires willingness. Willingness to try, to risk, to move forward even when the path isn't clear. And when you make this your mindset, something incredible happens. You begin to see every challenge as an opportunity for growth. No longer do you shrink from obstacles. You face them head on, knowing they are the very things that will push you toward the next level of your potential. You learn, you adapt, and you move forward. That's the power of taking action. It's not about having all the answers or getting everything right from the start. It's about moving forward, one decision at a time, one action at a time. It's about refusing to let fear hold you back from what you deserve. You are not waiting for life to come to you. You are going to life. You are actively creating the life you want by showing up, by taking action, and by refusing to settle for anything less than what you know you're capable of achieving. Your future is not determined by the circumstances you find yourself in, but by your willingness to act. The more you move, the clearer your path becomes. The more you act, the stronger your belief in yourself grows. You are not the person who waits. You are the person who moves forward, who takes charge, who makes things happen. The life you desire is waiting for you to claim it. So, don't wait. Act now. Take the next step. Keep moving, keep growing, and keep showing the world the power that resides within you. You have everything you need. It's time to use it. You've been given everything you need to succeed, and yet for so long you've held yourself back, not because you don't have the ability, but because you've been trapped by your own fears, your own uncertainties. But here's the truth. Those fears are not stronger than your potential. They are only as powerful as you allow them to be. You have the ability to overcome anything that stands in your way, but it starts with the simple decision to take action. The moment you stop waiting, stop hesitating, and start moving, you will feel the shift. That's when the magic happens. Not when things are perfect, but when you act despite the imperfection. You will realize that the more you move, the less power fear has over you. The power to create the life you want has always been within your grasp. You've had it all along. It's in every choice you make to show up, to push forward, to keep going even when it seems impossible. You have a well of strength inside you that is yet to be fully tapped. Every day you choose to take action, you uncover more of that strength. You realize that what you thought were your limits were simply places where you hadn't yet learned to push past. You will find that the more you move, the stronger you get, the clearer your vision becomes, and the more unstoppable you become. It's easy to convince yourself that you don't have what it takes. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that someone else has a better chance, a better plan, or more resources than you. But that's just a lie your mind tells you to keep you comfortable. The truth is, no one starts at the top. No one has the perfect conditions, but every person who has succeeded, who has broken through, has done it by choosing to act in the face of uncertainty. They didn't wait for the perfect moment. They made the moment perfect through their actions. What you need is already inside you. The courage, the drive, the hunger for change. Everything you need to move forward is already there, waiting for you to awaken it. You don't need permission from anyone else. You don't need to wait for someone to validate your worth or your dreams. You are the one who gets to decide what your life looks like. The moment you decide to act, to take that first step, you will feel a shift inside you. And with every step after, you will realize just how powerful you really are. It's not about waiting for the right opportunity. It's about creating the opportunity through action. Every time you act, you make your own luck. You create your own future. You don't have to wait for someone else to give you a chance. You've already been given the chance by simply being alive and capable of doing something incredible with your life. Now is the time to claim it. Right here, right now, you have everything you need to start moving toward the life you want. All it takes is one decision, one step. Keep going. Don't stop. This is your time. You are the one who controls your destiny. Keep moving forward because your future is waiting for you to take action.